And if we did, it's just a bunch of rooms, like, just places for people to sleep. They don't have anyone in them as far as I know for sure. Okay, yay, we can go through... Okay, this just came in. Before I go see her, I'm gonna see her last.
Complete. Well, how about that?
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Fertile ground, even here. This hold has everything.
Indeed. I want Blood Lotus, since we want more bees. Construction report. Scaffolding. Third fall in as many days. We need more sandbags. It's almost impossible to drive an anchor between these blocks. The place was built to last, but that makes it a fight to build it up. Baronal Roofer approved. The Inquisition needs its people on good legs. Sir Morris, Quartermaster. Elan Vamel? Who's that?
Inquisitor, Elan Vemal. Honored to represent the College of Herbalists and offer my services as apothecary.
Nice.
I intend to carry on the work of my esteemed colleague, Adan. He thought highly of you. You will be missed.
The enemy took a toll at Haven. It's an unfortunate loss.
He'd probably sneer at the sentiment and say, get back to work. So, we shall. All the mundane needs of Skyhold will be well tended. If you note anything special, let me know. I'm here to serve the cause we must.
Okay, I don't remember her at all.
Ah, Inquisitor, you have finally come into your own. The
That lady in
Maker
the
has
back
put
is
you on a
looking-
difficult path. I pray you walk it safely.
I remember our talk out there, before we found Skyhold. It wasn't just the Maker who put me on this path, was it?
The Inquisitor could never have been Cassandra, or Leliana, or me for that matter. We are too political, too tied to the Chantry and all its failings. But I did not make you stand against Corypheus. I did not make you risk death to save the people of Haven. Only you could be the Inquisitor. I only pray the power of the Inquisition is enough.
I'll do my best to earn this.
You earned this in Haven. The Maker has chosen you to deliver us from Corypheus. You have the faith and support of everyone here. Never forget that. Now, was there anything else?
Can you tell me anything about Corypheus?
I know nothing of the man personally, but the Chant of Light speaks of what he claims to be. No matter their power, their triumphs, the mage lords of Tevinter were men and doomed to die. Then a voice whispered within their hearts, "Shall you surrender your power to time like the beasts of the fields? You are the lords of the earth. Go forth to claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods."
That was one of the old gods speaking in their dreams?
Yes, Dumat as I understand it. In secret, they worked magic upon magic. All their power and all their vanity they turned against the veil, until at last it gave way.
Seems odd that that story would be in the Chant of Light, their own mythology about Andraste and the Maker.
It sounds like what happened with the breach.
Very similar, Inquisitor. Above them, a river of light. Before them, the throne of heaven waiting. Beneath their feet, the footprints of the Maker, and all around them echoed a vast silence. But when they took a single step toward the empty throne, a great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth.
Corypheus said he found only chaos and corruption.
The Chant of Light says that it was beautiful until the Maker himself spoke. And so is the Golden City blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world.
That sounds a little bit like Eve and Adam stealing an apple from the tree of knowledge and taking a bite.
Corypheus seemed so certain that he heard nothing. He described it as dead whispers.
Bitterness, perhaps? He paid a high price for his crime. Violently were they cast down, for no mortal may walk bodily in the realm of dreams, bearing the mark of their crime.
Walking bodily in the realm of dreams is exactly what Corypheus said he did. But the mark, could it be related to the mark I bear?
I cannot say. Perhaps Andraste saw clearly and we misinterpreted her words. It was always taught that the mark they bore was the shape of Darkspawn. Bodies so maimed and distorted that none should see them and know them for men. That is all I know of your adversary, Inquisitor.
Some of the Chant of Light describes what we've seen and what Corypheus said, but not all of it.
The Chant of Light is the work of mankind. We of all people must accept that mankind is fallible. Listeners may have misheard one of Andraste's songs. Just one word sung incorrectly could change everything. And how many verses were stricken or changed for foolish political reasons, like the Canticle of Chartan. Still, I would trust these words over any spoken by Corypheus. I hope they help you.
Since my character was going to be very heavily religious, she would probably believe the words that Mother Giselle is telling her. I'm personally a bit more skeptical, because as she said, men are fallible, men wrote the books. So who's to say that that's even what the chant is talking about? We don't know, and frankly, we can't know, unfortunately. I'm not finding... I think his name is Cerberus or whatever. Can't go in there. Ride of the Maker. Though I am flesh, your light is ever present, and those I have called they remember, and they shall endure. I shall sing with them the chant, and all will know. We are yours, and none will stand before us. Canticle of Trials, 15:1. Kind of creepy how the doors close by themselves. No one here. I'm looking for the Templar dude, Cerberus. I only have a handful more places to look before I can give up. Yeah, Hawk's no longer here. Why is this door open? If Cole were still here, he'd be standing in this corner. but he's not, so we'll go on. And part of the reason why coal annoyed me is because of his ability to just make people forget. What I find so irritating about Cole is just his own way of messing with people's minds. I don't care how well intentioned you mean, making people forget your mistakes and trying over again. I value the integrity of my mind, and the thought that anyone could just go in there and make me forget certain things really bothers me. It bothers me a lot. And that's why I just can't stand Cole. And if he was still around, you'd be hearing things like, gee, I have a misplaced knife, or, someone throw these onions in a fire. I don't remember where these onions went. It's weird things like that. And that is just, the idea that anyone could start questioning their own sanity is bothersome. It really is. I don't know of any other way to put it.
Hey,
What's been going on?
Ambassador Montelier sent me a basket of flowers to thank me for my work with the Inquisition. She's so lovely.
She is. Okay, I already asked her those.
Take care.
That's a woman. Surgeon.
Somewhat off-color today, Inquisitor? An excess of bile, perhaps. Might I bleed you, or offer a herbal tonic?
Herbal? Isn't it herbal? I don't know. Cerberus! Where are you?
That monster. He's a magister. They eat babies and burn everything.
I heard the same about humans.
You did not. We're noble.
My father said you're like weeds that choke out the grain. He's old, though.
Well, I mean, more than once, people have been described as some sort of plague or
Finally,
virus.
a place for the horses. I forgot about the Ferelden horses.
What? I'm confused. Excuse me, another note from the Skyhold kitchens. Once again, please keep the elf out of the kitchen. And check the sugar daily to make sure it is still sugar and not salt. Head cooked on donation. Beneath this is written, try keeping this out, followed by an arrow pointing toward a crude drawing of a phallus. So they're referring to Sarah there. She likes to do pranks. And I guess she likes to switch this sugar into salt. That's pretty annoying too. Yet another note from the kitchens. How many times do I have to say this? If it falls on the floor, it's still good to eat. Donation. God. A note from Skyhold Kitchens. Request for supplies. Potatoes, 500. Flour, 50 sacks. Dried peas, 100 sacks. Salted meat as much as possible. Willow switches, 4. Breaking the new kitchen hands. What? Don't beat the kitchen hands. I have objections to that.
There's no end of it. I can store an army.
Yes, you can, but where the hell is Cerberus? Okay, this is like another miniature library. I'll read it. The folly of General Not Sheraton. 5. In the days that followed, to avoid scandal, the appointing of Not Sheraton was claimed the grand tactic of the true general. I feel like we've read this one. I know we've read something having to do with General, not Sheraton. Since I'm pretty sure that we've read this, I'm gonna go ahead and not read it. If you'd like to read it, please feel free to pause. That's too long. Too long. Damn it. This is kind of important lore. Okay, so in case anyone doesn't know, the Blight is when Darkspawn start coming out of the ground to wage war against the living. And they're always led by an archdemon. So if an archdemon shows up, then yeah, there's concern for Blight. And that's why everyone's been talking about the dragon that Corypheus has being an archdemon and whether that means there's a Blight or not. It's kind of funny because we will be killing Darkspawn in this game, so yeah, there kind of is a Blight, I guess, by their own definition. It's a little odd. I'll read this. People today have little concept of the consequences of the second sin. Oh, believe me when I say that when asked, pious chantry-going folk will curse the use of foul magic, spitting and snapping their fingers, but none live today who actually remember the horror that was unleashed so very long ago. Whatever records might have existed regrettably did not survive the chaos and the ignorance that was to follow. Kind of sounds like the Dark Ages. We have only the tales of survivors handed down through the murky ages and the dogma of the chantry to instruct us, and that is precious little indeed. I am not understating when I say that the second sin unleashed the bane of life upon Thetis. The bane of all life upon Thetis. The Darkspawn are more virulent than the worst plague, a heartless force of nature. They came into our world like an ill wind. We know from accounts of later blights, as these Darkspawn invasions came to be called, never has a more appropriate name existed. That the Darkspawn spread disease and famine wherever they tread, the earth itself is corrupted by their presence, the sky roiling with angry black clouds. I do not exaggerate, my friend, when I say that a mass gathering of Darkspawn is an omen of dread cataclysm. And in case anyone isn't aware, the first Dragon Age game was about a blight. The fifth blight, I think. It is said that those cursed magisters who became the first Darkspawn scratched the very earth to find solace in the darkness of the dwarven deep roads, and there in the shadows they multiplied. Whether by intelligent design or by some last vestige of worship in their minds, they attempted to locate the old gods they had once served. They found what they sought, Dumat. First among the old gods, once known as the Dragon of Silence before the Maker imprisoned him, and all his brethren beneath the earth for the first sin, usurping the Maker's place in mankind's heart. The slumbering dragon awoke, freed from the Maker's prison by his twisted followers, and became corrupted himself. Dumat was transformed into the first archdemon, his great and terrible power given will by a rotting, unholy mind. With that the Darkspawn horde following, Dumat rose and took wing in the skies once again, bringing ruin to the world the Maker had created. The old god had become the eye of the dark storm that would ravage the entire world. From the Tales of the Destruction of Thetis by Brother Genetivi, Chantry Scholar. Yeah, it's too long. Alright, so you see that icon here? that means that there is someone that I can judge for whatever. I believe it's probably the Templar. And then there's another surprise one, but I won't say. Oh, heading up to my quarters. I must admit they are fancy, even if I can't really interact with it much.
They've certainly spared no expense.
Indeed, they have not. I can change my wardrobe. Like, there's a bunch of different ones that I could do. Quite frankly, most of them are ugly. But if you would like, I could wear any that catch your eye. I think I'll try this one. Oh yeah, it's armor. I don't think I'd normally wear armor. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's for improving Skyhold, which I probably won't bother with, truthfully. The thing is that I bothered with it before because, oh my god, Corypheus could attack us. It'd be great to have these things ready, so just in case that he does, we won't have to worry, blah blah blah. Well, unfortunately, and this might be considered a spoiler, but you might as well find out, Corypheus never attacks us here in Skyhold. It's pretty disappointing, to be truthful, and probably one of the greatest flaws of this story, if I'm to be frank. Cool. Those great horned owls? Kinda look like it.